Alright guys, one of my subscribers requested a landing tutorial video, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start out with the Habu, and then we're going to go with the P-47 to show the differences between landing jets and Warbirds. Unfortunately, our runway is a little rough today because our road has been graded recently. Up we go. So, when you're landing a jet, really the first thing you want to do is just get the throttle low. And then you're going to want to bring it in really low because these things love to keep their speed, so you're going to have a pretty long glide before you do anything. So you just want to get it nice and low, and then get the throttle nice down there, and then you just want to flare. So this was a little bit hot. I'm going to do a go around. I'm actually going to land in the opposite direction because we've picked up a bit of wind in this direction. So we're bringing it around. I'm just going to chop the throttle because this thing glides great, but with bigger jets you're going to want to use a bit of throttle. You're going to want to bring it as low as you can, and then once you're approaching the proper speed, you're going to want to pull up and just flare it like that, and then just taxi it until it's at a full stop. Sometimes pulling up really aggressively is just the only way you can get it to flare just right, and I believe that is what I'm going to do this time. I'm just going to flare it as aggressively as I can and hope that it goes down instead of up. And that is what I call a nice landing. So as you can see there, it really just floated on that flare for quite some time. And that's what you want to do. All right. I don't believe that's a part of the jet. I do think that came off the runway, because that does not look like something I recognize from the jet. Oh, it was. So this actually covers the duct and also helps hold the plane together. Kind of an issue, but I think we'll be fine. We've got a bit of a tailwind, that's all right. This thing can handle it. And we're just gonna bring it in. And we did bounce a bit there because we came in a little hot. My controller is unfortunately out of battery, and we'll be back with the P-47 and a fully charged transmitter. Now, landing a Warbird is a bit of a different process, so we're gonna go over that. But first, I would like to remind you that if we reach 1,000 subscribers by July 1st, I'll be crashing this jet up on the screen. So if you want that to happen, make sure you subscribe. Also, one of my subscribers found an Easter egg in one of my recent videos, and for that reason, he gets a shout out. So, shout out to JLovesRC for finding the Easter egg. Usually I'd like to do a nice scale takeoff, but I don't think I'm gonna go for that this time. I think I'm just gonna punch it and pull up as hard as I can. Luckily, it does have the power to go 80 miles an hour, so I'm sure it has the power to take off on a short runway. All right, here we go. Oh, straight up. All right, so when you're landing a Warbird, well, tail draggers in general, you want to keep the plane more level to the ground than you do when you're landing at the tricycle gear plane. Because when you're landing a tricycle gear plane, you want to touch down on the rear wheels, but in this case, you want to touch down on the front wheels. So you're actually going to be wanting to point down a little bit more than anything. So we're going to start out by putting down the flaps, full flaps. That's our landing flaps. And you're actually going to want to keep the throttle up just a little bit so you can get some more control on it and so it doesn't slow down too much. And then you're just going to kind of keep pushing it down, and you're just going to flare. And that's the process for landing Warbirds. We're going to take off and land one more time. And of course we're going to do some tumbles, because I just learned how to do them like last week, and I haven't had much of a chance to do them very much, and I love them, so boop. Gotta love a tumble. We're gonna go full flaps, put that gear down, and land it. Actually, before we do that, I would like to see how it tumbles at full flaps. I think that'd be an interesting experiment. Definitely flies very different with flaps down. Oh, it tumbles better. Interesting. All right, now we're gonna put the gear down and land it. Remember, you wanna keep just a little bit of throttle so you can maintain that airspeed, because the flaps on this are pretty intense. With the jet, it doesn't have flaps, so that's not something you need to worry about, so you can just cut throttle, but with this thing, you wanna keep a bit. All right, so you're just gonna bring it in at a decent speed. And as you reach the ground, you're gonna wanna increase the throttle just a teeny bit, and then just cut it and pull up just a little bit, and it's gonna flare and touch down perfectly. And of course, this takes plenty of practice, but the only way you can practice is by flying the planes. It's a learning curve, and you will have bad landings, and I have bad landings all the time, even now. I've flown this plane close to 50 to 100 times, and I still have rough landings quite often, actually. That is your tutorial on how to land RC planes. And of course, please consider liking this video and subscribing.